Please subscribe to Morris TVGH.
My name is Opoku. I'm the Executive Director of the National Service Secretariat, National Cathedral Secretariat, and these accusations really were made by the ranking member on Foreign Affairs in our nation's parliament, the Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa. These accusations include the following. One, that we've registered, or the National Cathedral of Ghana has registered a subsidiary with a different name. That is the National Cathedral of Ghana and Bible Museum Foundation Incorporated, rather than registering it as the National Cathedral of Ghana. That two, none of the board members here, the clergymen here, is on the registration in the USA. Three, that the National Cathedral Foundation in the USA uses a fraudulent address in Washington, D.C. Four, the National Cathedral of Ghana Foundation uses some faceless names for the incorporation. Five, the U.S. consultant, Kari Summers, literally doesn't operate from office and has been paid fraudulently. Seven, I think, the National Cathedral of Ghana Foundation and Bible Museum has used a false identity, the social security number of a dead person, one Jose Salgado, to apply for tax exemption for the foundation. And also that we have incorporated, without anybody knowing, in additional states, Illinois and Oklahoma. And finally, that there's a reckless lack of accountability on the part of the National Cathedral Bible Museum Foundation, as we have never filed any tax returns to the US government since we were incorporated in 2021. These are very, very serious allegations linked to the US legal and regulatory environment. Thus, we are very privileged to have here this morning one of the faceless people behind the registration of the foundation, lawyer Eric Ochidakun, who practices law in the USA, in New York and Ghana. Lawyer Eric Ochidakun is one of the distinguished sons of our country, who always responds to the call to help his nation. As a lawyer, part of his job is to convene juries. So he has an impressive capacity to explain these issues. Unlike myself, I'm a professor, and the first thing our professor told me when we went to university is that professors are supposed to confuse their students and impress their peers. And so we are lucky we have a lawyer here to explain. He leaves back to the USA tomorrow, and so we are happy we can have him here today to explain some of these issues. But before he takes over, I want to make three quick remarks. First, without equivocation, I want to say that all these allegations are false. All of them. There is no criminality in the National Cathedral project, as we are implementing the project with integrity and accountability both in Ghana and outside Ghana. Second, we have not registered the National Cathedral of Ghana in Washington, D.C. under a different name. For the record, the National Cathedral of Ghana and Bible Museum Foundation, Inc. is not the USA branch office of the National Cathedral of Ghana. Rather, it is a special purpose vehicle created for fundraising needs of the National Cathedral project in the USA. It is related to the Secretariat's fundraising rules in the USA. And the two issues for which we are fundraising in the US are: one, the National Cathedral, and two, the Bible Museum. And it is clearly reflected in the purpose of the foundation we have registered, which is, and I quote, to raise funds to support the construction and maintenance of the National Cathedral of Ghana in Accra, Ghana, and a museum commemorating the history of the Christian church in Africa. So the foundation, the foundation's needs reflect the two issues around which we are fundraising. Third, and very critical, on February 6, 2023, I had a long telephone conversation with Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa. This conversation had been facilitated by Archbishop Duncan Williams, who incidentally is celebrating his birthday today. So I want to take this opportunity to wish him a blessed birthday. Archbishop Duncan Williams wanted Honorable Ablakwa and I to talk to reduce the tensions in the country on the project and to establish the basis for regular communication with the MP for updates and clarification on issues concerning the project. In my February 6, 2023 conversation with Honorable Ablakwa, I told him that issues of accountability are critical to a project of this nature. Consequently, it is legitimate, and we welcome parliamentary oversight of state resources in the project. However, I insisted that parliamentary oversight is not exercised on social media, but in Parliament or through statutory bodies established for the purpose. I explained that some of the accusations he makes on social media are affecting our fundraising activities both in Ghana and the USA. I mentioned the visit in July 2022 of potential US donors to the country, which we had to cancel due to the false accusations in May, June 2022. Consequently, in this conversation, I made just one request of him, and that is, before he accuses the National Cathedral of wrongdoing, he should verify this information with the Secretariat. This is because at the heart of accountability is verification. The fact that he goes to the US and makes these allegations without verification is not only a breach of faith in that conversation. Moreover, these unverified allegations affect our ability to raise the needed funds to complete the project. More importantly, it is unacceptable. It is unacceptable behavior by a member of parliament who also happens to be the ranking member for foreign affairs in the country's parliament. Such behavior does not only affect the National Cathedral's efforts to raise the needed funds to complete the project, but more critically, this behavior of an MP is dangerous to the health of our democracy. So these are my introductory remarks, and with that, I want to invite lawyer Eric Ochredako to take over and address this so-called bombshells from the USA. Eric.
Thank you and good morning to members of the press.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe,
and click on the bell for more updates.